Another author you may have heard of is William Shakespeare. You know, playwright, English, goatee, that guy. Shakespeare, of course, is always being produced somewhere, so why not in Brooklyn? And why not as a web series? That's what the Ready, Set, Go theater company has been doing, first with Othello, and most recently with Romeo and Juliet, or R&J, as they've titled it.
But before we meet three of the leaders of the company, let's take a look at the moment when Romeo meets Juliet. But this is not in Verona, it's in Prospect Park.
Come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman that would not dance?
His name is Romeo and Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate.
What is her mother?
Married bachelor. Her mother is the lady of the house.
She a Capulet. Oh dear, account my life is my foe's death.
Here to tell us more about Ready, Set, Go, up next, by the way, is Hamlet, are John Robert Hurley, Artistic Director. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Shannon Stowe, Director of Development. Thanks for being here, Shannon.
Thank you.
And Andreas Damm, Managing Director, whom you just saw playing Romeo.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, welcome
here.
to BK Live. Shakespeare is like, you know, in the building.
So much fun having you guys here. So why Shakespeare? There's so many playwrights out there. There's Arthur Miller, Death of a Salesman. There's, of course, David Mamet, who's all over the place nowadays. So why Shakespeare? Why choose this author?
In 2015.
Well, I was talking to one of my friends from back home in Georgia, who's a high school English teacher. And his classroom was equipped with all of this technology, and he was struggling to find a way to incorporate the modern world with Shakespeare and trying to get students to understand why they were studying Shakespeare. And I thought, why not a web series? Why not meet them on their own turf and show them Shakespeare as they've never seen it, through their own eyes, in their own world?
And in Brooklyn.
And in Brooklyn, the world's greatest backdrop.
I gotta ask you, John,
Yes,
can you
sir.
tell us about the first project you did, Othello? Because that was interesting, as in so many projects. You were the artistic director, the director, camera operator, sound recordist,
Jack
editor.
of all trades, wow.
Absolutely. Can you tell us about the first project?
Well, we didn't have any money, and I had no idea how to make a film, so why not start with Othello, which was a story that I felt very comfortable with. And so we did a little bit of fundraising, we bought some equipment, and I got a group of actors who were very generous and very brave and willing to stand in traffic. And we went around Brooklyn filming anywhere we could that we thought suited the story. And we just had a great time, and I think we made something that was gritty and visceral that the students would identify with. And the students who have used it so far have really found themselves in the story, which is the whole purpose of what we're doing.
So let's bring in some of the artistic and more creative aspects also that we saw in some of these clips here. So why choose Brooklyn as the backdrop for this beautiful romantic tragedy?
Well, it all goes back to bringing this world of Shakespeare to the kids of today. What can they identify with, who can they identify with, and where? So taking what can be an unknown system of royalty, that's not something that we identify with anymore. So bringing it down to what happens in our world. So in this case, the Capulets and Montagues were rival butchers. So, you know, where can we identify this same system within our world, but then also our very own neighborhood. I mean, I remember I used to watch movies and I would see New York and think, oh my gosh, that would be so cool. And now I live here and I see landmarks and I'm like, yeah, that's where I live. That's my place. I know that place. And so it gives our audience and the kids the same, it's a way in. It's a way for them to really identify and feel like, oh yeah, that's me. I belong here. I get this. And so it's what better place, you know?
We have so much in Brooklyn. I mean, we start off at Grand Army Plaza, and that's immediately an iconic kind of place where everyone knows where that is in Brooklyn. And then you have Prospect Park, it goes with our gritty kind of feel to the whole system because the park itself is left in that state of nature, this normal state of nature that really speaks to us. And there's so much, alone in New York City, but in Brooklyn specifically. And it was a central location for us as well to keep traveling around. So we just had so much more to go. Yeah, practicality. So it worked out just brilliantly for us.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about, on the actual day of the shoot, how does that sort of play out? How do you adapt your plays to the space, and break that fourth wall and bring Brooklyn in as a character? And, the guerrilla aspect of shooting, how does that all sort of pan out on the day of the set?
So we rehearse as if we're going to do a stage production. We meet in a very sterile rehearsal room that's just white walls and black boxes. And what's really exciting to me as a director is that sense of if we had been a second later, we would have missed it. And so we pick our location. I'll go ahead and scout without the actors and sort of get a feel for how it's going to play. And then the day of, the actors come. We might run through it once or twice, and then we start shooting. And so what you're seeing on film is the actors rediscovering the scene for themselves. And it adds this, at least when I watch it, it adds this sense of electricity to what they're doing because they're having to really listen to each other and watch each other and respond in the moment rather than having some thought-out, over-rehearsed plan. They're having to respond to the traffic, to the people walking through the shot because there's no closed sets, to the NYPD showing up to ask what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, what John did really well is he painted a picture for us actors, and then it was a matter of just, all right, this is it. We only have a finite time slot here. No one is stopping anything, so you guys just keep focused, keep in character, keep going. And John also loves climbing trees and climbing all sorts of crazy places. So to get that angle, so he has to get up in that angle, make sure he gets it, and we in the meantime rehearse with each other and then paint the picture. And then, sometimes, the NYPD, who we're very grateful for, come in and they ask us what's going on. So that was a good little experience.
You're not allowed to climb the arch in Grand Army. Didn't know that, but they apparently frown on that.
Yeah.
So what's been the response so far to R&J?
It's been really positive. Andreas, do you want to speak about the festivals we've got?
Yeah, so we've actually been submitting to a bunch of festivals at the moment, and I made sure that we would go into both the online festivals, there's online festivals, online world, and then the actual festivals we have to go to the events, or we want to go to these events. And
what are some of the festivals that you've submitted
so
to?
we've submitted to a bunch. Bushwick being one of them. I'm really excited about Bushwick Film Festival. We're also going to submit to pretty much everything we can in New York City. We were at the New Filmmakers Festival in downtown, the Lower East Side. We also submitted to the Lower East Film Festival. So we've submitted to a lot of New York ones. We've gotten into the New Haven International Film Festival, and as well as the Film Fest 52 in Connecticut. We won an award at the San Francisco Film Awards. So it's really, it's gaining some traffic through that way because there's a lot of web series out there. And now web series festivals are just popping up everywhere. There's some exciting ones in Dublin and Berlin, here in New York. They're really becoming a big thing to go to. So we're looking at that to get the responses, and it's been very positive so far, so both from festivals and also educators, actually.
The teachers, the ones that I've spoken to personally, this is what they've been looking for, because all of the perceptions the students have about why Shakespeare has nothing to do with them, we've removed all of that. So they can just focus on the text and the story, and the teachers can help them find a way to relate to these stories and use those lessons moving forward in their lives. Not just the classical rhetorical elements left over from 19th century British education, but the modern world that we live in. Baltimore is in serious strife right now, and these are things that Shakespeare speaks to. And if we can help facilitate those conversations, then we're creating something that is important to the community, not just to our own personal egos and careers, but we want to play a part in the community and helping the community come together. And that's one of the reasons why we love being in Brooklyn, is it's a real community.
It really is.
And anytime somebody asks us what they're doing, they're like, oh, that's really neat. That's great. If you need anything, just let us know.
Nice community response.
So how do people reach out to you? How do they, follow the productions? Is there like a, Shakespeare flash mob audience, Twitter, like, we're doing Shakespeare in 10 minutes, get here or something. How do people find out?
great idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to bring you on board.
No problem. Cheers, I'll follow you on Twitter.
Andreas is our webmaster. He can speak to
Yeah,
all
we
the
have
contact
our
info.
website, so readysetgotheater.com, and through that you can view all the web series, both Othello and Romeo and Juliet, see what we're doing, see our latest news. We made sure that everyone knew we're coming here today, so that's also available.
And it's on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel that's linked with our website as well, so people can go to either and see.
We have lots of Instagram pictures of my very cute dog.
Yeah, she's become our mascot.
Little mascot.
Yeah.
I'm excited just not only to see this, but what you guys are going to become. Then you said the next play is going to be Hamlet?
Yeah, we're going to do Hamlet here in Brooklyn, in the one place where all walks of life cross paths, in the corner bodega.
Which neighborhood in Brooklyn? Have you guys scoped that out yet?
We're still deciding. We want to move out of our, we've been in Park Slope for the last two, just because that was where I was and I didn't want to haul the camera equipment. But I think now we're going to try to move out of our safety zone and find a new neighborhood to feature in Hamlet, and that's part of our
It's a
project for the next
I mean,
one.
as we said earlier with Romeo and Juliet, we're very focused on making sure that we're meeting the audience on their terms as well. So we don't relate with royalty. None of us are blue bloods here. We don't have fancy houses or anything. So we want to meet people on their own terms. We're not bringing Shakespeare down to them. No, we're bringing everyone up with us to go and join Shakespeare and join the story. And that's why the bodega, John thought that's such a great idea. I thought it was a great idea because, everyone goes there.
Can relate to
the
that.
rich, the poor, the young, the old, everyone goes through to a bodega.
Yeah.
So that's our arsenal.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. We really do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing R&J.
Ready,
Thank
set,
you.
go.
Thank you so much.
It's great being here.